in the name of God, the gracious, the merciful. Mankind's reckoning has drawn near, but they turn away heedlessly. No fresh reminder comes to them from their Lord, but they listen to it playfully. Their hearts distracted, the wrongdoers confer secretly, "Is this anything but a mortal like you? Will you take to sorcery, with open eyes?" He said, "My Lord knows what is said in the heaven and the earth. And he is the hearer, the knower." And they said, "A jumble of dreams, and he made it up, and he is a poet, let him bring us a sign, like those sent to the ancients." None of the towns we destroyed before them had believed. Will they, then, believe? We did not send before you except men, whom we inspired. Ask the people of knowledge, if you do not know. We did not make them mere bodies that ate no food, nor were they immortal. Then we fulfilled our promise to them, and we saved them together with whomever we willed, and we destroyed the extravagant. We have sent down to you a book, containing your message. Do you not understand? How many a guilty town have we crushed, and established thereafter another people? Then, when they sensed our might, they started running away from it. Do not run, but come back to your luxuries, and to your homes, that you may be questioned. They said, "Woe to us! We were unfair." This continued to be their cry, until we made them silent ashes. We did not create the sky and the earth and what is between them for amusement. If we wanted amusement, we could have found it within us, were we to do so. In fact, we hurl the truth against falsehood, and it crushes it, so it vanishes. Woe unto you, for what you describe. To him belongs everyone in the heavens and the earth. Those near him are not too proud to worship him, nor do they waver. They praise night and day, without ever tiring. Or have they taken to themselves gods from the earth who resurrect? If there were in them gods other than God, they would have gone to ruin. So glory be to God, Lord of the throne, beyond what they allege. He will not be questioned about what he does, but they will be questioned. Or have they taken, besides him, other gods? Say, bring your proof. This is a message for those with me, and a message of those before me. But most of them do not know the truth, so they turn away. We never sent a messenger before you without inspiring him that there is no God but I, so worship me. And they say, the Most Merciful has taken to himself a son. Be he glorified. They are but honored servants. They never speak before he has spoken, and they only act on his command. He knows what is before them, and what is behind them. And they do not intercede except for him whom he approves. And they tremble in awe of him. And whoever of them says, I am a god besides him, we will reward him with hell. Thus we reward the wrongdoers. Do the disbelievers not see that the heavens and the earth were one mass, and we tore them apart? And we made from water every living thing. Will they not believe? And we placed on earth stabilizers, lest it sways with them, and we placed therein signposts and passages, that they may be guided. And we made the sky a protected ceiling. Yet they turn away from its wonders. It is he who created the night and the day, and the sun and the moon, each floating in an orbit. We did not grant immortality to any human being before you. Should you die, are they then the immortal? Every soul will taste death. We burden you with adversity and prosperity, a test. And to us you will be returned. When those who disbelieve see you, they treat you only with ridicule. is this the one who mentions your gods? And they reject the mention of the merciful. The human being was created of haste. I will show you my signs, so do not seek to rush me. And they say, when will this promise come true, if you are truthful? If those who disbelieve only knew, when they cannot keep the fire off their faces and off their backs, and they will not be helped. In fact, it will come upon them suddenly, and bewilder them. They will not be able to repel it, and they will not be reprieved. Messengers before you were also ridiculed, but those who jeered were surrounded by what they had ridiculed. Say, who guards you against the merciful by night and by day? But they turn away from the mention of their Lord. Or do they have gods who can defend them against us? They cannot help themselves, nor will they be protected from us. We had given these enjoyments, and their ancestors, until time grew long upon them. Do they not see how we gradually reduce the land from its extremities? Are they then the victors? Say, I am warning you through inspiration. But the deaf cannot hear the call when they are being warned. And when a breath of your Lord's punishment touches them, they say, woe to us, we were truly wicked. We will set up the scales of justice for the day of resurrection, so that no soul will suffer the least injustice. And even if it be the weight of a mustard seed, we will bring it up. Sufficient are we as reckoners. We gave Moses and Aaron the criterion, and illumination, and a reminder for the righteous. Those who fear their Lord in private, and are apprehensive of the hour. This too is a blessed message that we revealed. Are you going to deny it? We gave Abraham his integrity formally, and we knew him well. When he said to his father and his people, what are these statues to which you are devoted? They said, we found our parents worshipping them. He said, you and your parents are in evident error. They said, are you telling us the truth, or are you just playing? He said, your Lord is the Lord of the heavens and the earth, the one who created them, and I bear witness to that. By God, I will have a plan for your statues after you have gone away. So he reduced them into pieces, except for their biggest, that they may return to it. They said, who did this to our gods? He is certainly one of the wrongdoers. They said, we heard a youth mentioning them. He is called Abraham. They said, bring him before the eyes of the people, so that they may witness. They said, are you the one who did this to our gods, O Abraham? He said, but it was this biggest of them that did it. Ask them, if they can speak. Then they turned to one another, and said, you yourselves are the wrongdoers. But they reverted to their old ideas. You certainly know that these do not speak. He said, do you worship, instead of God, what can neither benefit you in anything, nor harm you? Fie on you, and on what you worship instead of God. Do you not understand? They said, burn him and support your gods, if you are going to act. We said, O fire, be coolness and safety upon Abraham. They planned to harm him, but we made them the worst losers. And we delivered him, and Lot, to the land that we blessed for all people. And we granted him Isaac and Jacob as a gift. And each we made righteous. And we made them leaders, guiding by our command. And we inspired them to do good works, and to observe the prayer, and to give out charity. They were devoted servants to us. And Lot, we gave him judgment and knowledge, and we delivered him from the town that practiced the abominations. They were wicked and perverted people. And we admitted him into our mercy. for he was one of the righteous. And Noah, when he called before. So we answered him, and delivered him and his family from the great disaster. And we supported him against the people who rejected our signs. They were an evil people, so we drowned them all. And David and Solomon, when they gave judgment in the case of the field, when some people's sheep wandered therein by night. And we were witnesses to their judgment. And so we made Solomon understand it, and to each we gave wisdom and knowledge. And we subjected the mountains along with David to sing our praises, and the birds as well. Surely we did. And we taught him the making of shields for you, to protect you from your violence. Are you, then, appreciative? And to Solomon the stormy wind, blowing at his command towards the land that we have blessed. We are aware of everything. And of the devils were some that dived for him, and performed other, lesser tasks. But we kept them restrained. And Job, when he cried out to his Lord, great harm has afflicted me, and you are the most merciful of the merciful. So we answered him, lifted his suffering, and restored his family to him, and their like with them, a mercy from us, and a reminder for the worshippers. And Ishmael, and Enoch, and Ezekiel. Each was one of the steadfast. And we admitted them into our mercy. They were among the righteous. And Jonah, when he stormed out in fury, thinking we had no power over him. But then he cried out in the darkness, there is no God but you. Glory to you. I was one of the wrongdoers. So we answered him, and saved him from the affliction. Thus we save the faithful. And Zechariah, when he called out to his Lord, my Lord, do not leave me alone, even though you are the best of heirs. So we answered him, and gave him John. And we cured his wife for him. They used to vie in doing righteous deeds, and used to call on us in love and awe, and they used to humble themselves to us. And she who guarded her virginity, we breathed into her of our spirit, and made her and her son a sign to the world. This community of yours is one community, and I am your Lord, so worship me. But they splintered themselves into factions. They will all return to us. Whoever does righteous deeds, and is a believer, his effort will not be denied. We are writing it down for him. There is a ban on the town that we had destroyed, that they will not return. Until, when Gog and Magog are let loose, and they swarm down from every mound. The promise of truth has drawn near. The eyes of those who disbelieved will stare in horror. Woe to us! We were oblivious to this. In fact, we were wrongdoers. You and what you worship besides God are fuel for hell. You will descend into it. Had these been gods, they would not have descended into it. All will abide in it. In it they will wail. In it they will not hear. As for those who deserved goodness from us, these will be kept away from it. They will not hear its hissing, and they will forever abide in what their hearts desire. The supreme fear will not worry them, and the angels will receive them. This is your day which you were promised. On the day when we fold the heaven, like the folding of a book. Just as we began the first creation, we will repeat it, a promise binding on us. We will act. We have written in the Psalms, after the reminder, that the earth will be inherited by my righteous servants. Indeed, in this is a message for people who worship. We did not send you except as mercy to mankind. Say, it is revealed to me that your God is one God. Are you going to submit? But if they turn away, say, I have informed you sufficiently. Although I do not know whether what you are promised is near or far. He knows what is said openly, and he knows what you conceal. And I do not know whether it is perhaps a trial for you, and an enjoyment for a while. He said, My Lord, judge with justice. And, our Lord is the gracious, whose help is sought against what you allege. In the name of God, the gracious, the merciful. O people, be conscious of your Lord. The quaking of the hour is a tremendous thing. On the day when you will see it, every nursing mother will discard her infant, and every pregnant woman will abort her load, and you will see the people drunk, even though they are not drunk, but the punishment of God is severe. Among the people is he who argues about God without knowledge, and follows every defiant devil. It was decreed for him, that whoever follows him, he will misguide him, and lead him to the torment of the blaze. O people! If you are in doubt about the resurrection, we created you from dust, then from a small drop, then from a clinging clot, then from a lump of flesh, partly developed and partly undeveloped. In order to clarify things for you. And we settle in the wombs whatever we will for a designated term, and then we bring you out as infants, until you reach your full strength. And some of you will pass away, and some of you will be returned to the vilest age, so that he may not know, after having known. And you see the earth still. But when we send down water on it, it vibrates, and swells, and grows all kinds of lovely pears. That is because God is the truth, and because he gives life to the dead, and because he is capable of everything. And because the hour is coming, there is no doubt about it, and because God will resurrect those in the graves. And among the people is he who argues about God without knowledge, or guidance, or an enlightening scripture. Turning aside in contempt, to lead away from the path of God. He will have humiliation in this world, and on the day of resurrection we will make him taste the agony of burning. That is for what your hands have advanced, and because God is not unjust to the servants. And among the people is he who worships God on edge. When something good comes his way, he is content with it. But when an ordeal strikes him, he makes a turnaround. He loses this world and the next. That is the obvious loss. He invokes, instead of God, what can neither harm him nor benefit him. That is the far straying. He invokes one whose harm is closer than his benefit. What a miserable master! What a miserable companion! God will admit those who believe and do righteous deeds into gardens beneath which rivers flow. God does whatever he wills. Whoever thinks that God will not help him in this life and in the hereafter, let him turn to heaven, then sever, and see if his cunning eliminates what enrages him. Thus we revealed it as clarifying signs, and God guides whomever he wills. Those who believe, and those who are Jewish, and the Sabaeans, and the Christians, and the Zoroastrians, and the polytheists, God will judge between them on the day of resurrection. God is witness to all things. Do you not realize that to God prostrates everyone in the heavens and everyone on earth, and the sun, and the moon, and the stars, and the mountains, and the trees, and the animals, and many of the people? But many are justly deserving of punishment. Whomever God shames, there is none to honor him. God does whatever he wills. Here are two adversaries feuding regarding their Lord. As for those who disbelieve, garments of fire will be tailored for them, and scalding water will be poured over their heads, melting their insides and their skins. And they will have maces of iron. Whenever they try to escape the gloom, they will be driven back to it. Taste the suffering of burning. But God will admit those who believe and do good deeds into gardens beneath which rivers flow. They will be decorated therein with bracelets of gold and pearls, and their garments therein will be of silk. They were guided to purity of speech. They were guided to the path of the Most Praised. As for those who disbelieve and repel from God's path and from the sacred mosque, which we have designated for all mankind equally, whether residing therein or passing through, and seek to commit sacrilege therein, we will make him taste of a painful punishment. We showed Abraham the location of the house. Do not associate anything with me. And purify my house for those who circle around, and those who stand to pray, and those who kneel and prostrate. And announce the pilgrimage to humanity. They will come to you on foot, and on every transport. They will come from every distant point. That they may witness the benefits for themselves, and celebrate the name of God during the appointed days, for providing them with the animal livestock. So eat from it, and feed the unfortunate poor. Then let them perform their acts of cleansing, and fulfill their vows, and circle around the ancient house. All that. Whoever venerates the sanctities of God, it is good for him with his Lord. All livestock are permitted to you, except what is recited to you. So stay away from the abomination of idols, and stay away from perjury. Being true to God, without associating anything with him. Whoever associates anything with God, it is as though he has fallen from the sky, and is snatched by the birds, or is swept away by the wind to a distant abyss. So it is. Whoever venerates the sacraments of God, it is from the piety of the hearts. In them are benefits for you until a certain time. Then their place is by the ancient house. We have appointed a rite for every nation, that they may commemorate God's name over the livestock he has provided for them. Your God is one God, so to him submit, and announce good news to the humble. Those whose hearts tremble when God is mentioned, and those who endure what has befallen them, and those who perform the prayer and spend from what we have provided for them. We have made the animal offerings emblems of God for you. In them is goodness for you. So pronounce God's name upon them as they line up. Then, when they have fallen on their sides, eat of them and feed the contented and the beggar. Thus we have subjected them to you, that you may be thankful. Neither their flesh, nor their blood, ever reaches God. What reaches him is the righteousness from you. Thus he subdued them to you, that you may glorify God for guiding you, and give good news to the charitable. God defends those who believe. God does not love any ungrateful traitor. Permission is given to those who are fought against, and God is able to give them victory. Those who were unjustly evicted from their homes, merely for saying, "Our Lord is God." Were it not that God repels people by means of others. Monasteries, churches, synagogues, and mosques, where the name of God is mentioned much, would have been demolished. God supports whoever supports him. God is strong and mighty. Those who, when we empower them in the land, observe the prayer, and give regular charity, and command what is right, and forbid what is wrong. To God belongs the outcome of events. If they deny you, before them the people of Noah, and Ad, and Thamud also denied. And the people of Abraham, and the people of Lot. And the inhabitants of Midian. And Moses was denied. Then I reprieved those who disbelieved, but then I seized them. So how was my rejection? How many a town have we destroyed while it was doing wrong? They lie in ruins. with still wells, and lofty mansions? Have they not journeyed in the land, and had minds to reason with, or ears to listen with? It is not the eyes that go blind, but it is the hearts, within the chests, that go blind. And they ask you to hasten the punishment. But God never breaks his promise. A day with your Lord is like 1,000 years of your count. How many a town have I reprieved, although it was unjust? Then I seized it. To me is the destination. Say, O people, I am only a plain warner to you. Those who believe and work righteousness, for them is forgiveness and a generous provision. But those who strive against our revelations, these are the inmates of hell. We never sent a messenger before you, or a prophet, but when he had a desire Satan interfered in his wishes. But God nullifies what Satan interjects, and God affirms his revelations. God is omniscient and wise. In order to make Satan's suggestions a trial for those whose hearts are diseased, and those whose hearts are hardened. The wrongdoers are in profound discord. And so that those endowed with knowledge may know that it is the truth from your Lord, and so believe in it, and their hearts soften to it. God guides those who believe to a straight path. Those who disbelieve will continue to be hesitant about it, until the hour comes upon them suddenly, or there comes to them the torment of a desolate day. Sovereignty on that day belongs to God. He will judge between them. Those who believe and do good deeds will be in the gardens of bliss. But those who disbelieve and reject our revelations, these will have a humiliating punishment. Those who emigrate in God's cause, then get killed, or die, God will provide them with fine provisions. God is the best of providers. He will admit them an admittance that will please them. God is knowing and clement. That is so. Whoever retaliates similarly to the affliction he was made to suffer, and then he is wronged again, God will definitely assist him. God is pardoning and forgiving. That is because God merges the night into the day, and he merges the day into the night, and because God is hearing and seeing. That is because God is the reality, and what they invoke besides him is vanity, and because God is the sublime, the grand. Do you not see that God sends down water from the sky, and the land becomes green? God is kind and aware. To him belongs everything in the heavens and everything on earth. God is the rich, the praised. Do you not see that God made everything on earth subservient to you? How the ships sail at sea by his command. That he holds up the sky lest it falls on earth, except by his permission? God is gracious towards the people, most merciful. And it is he who gives you life, then makes you die, then revives you. The human being is unappreciative. For every congregation we have appointed acts of devotion, which they observe. So do not let them dispute with you in this matter. And invite to your Lord. You are upon a straight guidance. But if they dispute with you, say, God is fully aware of what you do. God will judge between you on the day of resurrection regarding what you disagree about. Do you not know that God knows everything in the heavens and the earth? This is in a book. That is easy for God. Yet they worship, besides God, things for which he sent down no warrant, and what they have no knowledge of. There is no Savior for the transgressors. And when our clear verses are recited to them, you will recognize disgust on the faces of those who disbelieve. They nearly assault those who recite to them our verses. Say, shall I inform you of something worse than that? The fire. God has promised it to those who disbelieve. and what a wretched outcome. O people! A parable is presented, so listen to it. Those you invoke besides God will never create a fly, even if they banded together for that purpose. And if the fly steals anything from them, they cannot recover it from it. Weak are the pursuer and the pursued. They do not value God as he should be valued. God is strong and powerful. God chooses messengers from among the angels, and from among the people. God is hearing and seeing. He knows what is before them, and what is behind them. To God all matters are referred. O you who believe! Kneel, and prostrate, and worship your Lord, and do good deeds, so that you may succeed. And strive for God, with the striving due to him. He has chosen you, and has not burdened you in religion, the faith of your father Abraham. It is he who named you Muslims before, and in this. So that the messenger may be a witness over you, and you may be witnesses over the people. So pray regularly, and give regular charity, and cleave to God. He is your protector. What an excellent protector, and what an excellent helper.